Welcome back to the channel. Um, Feeling a little bit tired today. I didn't get up until almost 1 o'clock. Um, Went and took my wife some coffee after I got up and got in the shower. Well, I got in the shower, went and got her some coffee and took it to her work. She works like 5 minutes from here, and I had to come right back home. I wasn't feeling too good, so I'm just a little tired today. But what I want to talk about today is something I've touched upon a little bit before. It's actually kind of two different things in one, and that is manipulation. I've talked about how manipulation helped me when I was locked up and how it helped me when I came home and to get the things that I needed, but there's other ways of manipulating and there's to me, and these are just my opinions, there's different levels of manipulators, there's guys that they know how to manipulate people, but they can only manipulate weak-minded people. Then there's guys that you can consider like a master manipulator. They really know what they're doing. Um, they can they can even get into another manipulator's mind. They really know what they're doing. And but you don't have to just manipulate people with your mouth and your words. You know, your mouth, your words, it's very powerful. But I think I think something that's more powerful is this, and that's your hands. You can use your hands to manipulate people. And I don't mean in a physical, like violence type way, just with your touch of your hands can manipulate people. Because the human touch is very powerful. And that's something that you learn from the very beginning of when you're born. You know, when you're born, if you're born at natural birth, right away they'll take you for out. You're born. They hand you over to the mother, your mother, and for the most part, that's what happens. So the first actual touch that you ever feel is with from skin to skin is from your own mother. You get handed off to your mother because it'll calm the child, because the child has been with the mother this whole time, and now it's out of the mother, and then the mother's touch, it knows the mother, so the mother's touch will soothe the child. So you learn that right away. You learn to touch, what it feels like to be touched, and it soothes you. Now, and this goes to be one of the other reasons why I don't follow religion. But, I was baptized as a Catholic, but I was raised as a Christian and baptized Christian and all that other shit too. So, but our people are usually either Catholic or they're Christians. I can't speak on Muslims and all that other shit because I wasn't part of their religious belief. But growing up as a child, learning to manipulate to get things I needed with my words, and also as a teenager, being incarcerated, using my words to manipulate. You get better and better and better at it. You're just planting a seed in somebody's head, and you become better and better and better at it. Then I come home, I'm 18 years old. I have to use manipulation tactics again to get the things that I need. So there I go, using the shit that I've already learned, and I'm learning more as I go. So when you live your life that way, manipulating people, and you become a master at the shit, you can spot another manipulator a mile away. You can just sit down and talk to them, and you can see, okay, this motherfucker right here, he's trying to manipulate me. I watch a lot of different YouTube channels. A lot of it's that prison shit. And some of you guys know what I'm talking about. And I'm watching these guys, and I can see what they really are about. You know what I mean? Like I said, being a manipulator, you can see what these guys are all trying to manipulate people into believing their stories. They're trying to manipulate you into believing what they did was right. And it shows that they're doing a good job at it. If you look in the comments, get out of there. No. Um, if you look in the comments and you see people agreeing with what they're doing, you can see that they they're good. They're doing they're manipulating people. It's easy to see. I can see right through their bullshit. I can see who's a manipulator and who's a master manipulator. And like there's one little kind of chubby dude with a fucking gap tooth from up north. He's borderline manipulator. He's manipulating people to believe it's bullshit, but he's more of a go along to get along type guy. I can tell. I could tell he's been manipulated a lot. You know what I mean? He's a go along to get along type of guy. That's the only reason why he's made it as far as he did. Then there's a skinny white boy that thinks he's Mexican. Uh, he's a manipulator. He's good, but he ain't that good. You see right through his bullshit. But he's good enough to manipulate certain people, and I watch it. Like I said in the comments, I said, "Oh yeah, he's good at it, but he's been manipulated a lot himself." So, but he's okay. Then you got the big fat fucker. He's a fucking master at it. You know, he's got some shit going on right now. He caused some fucking issues, and and he's trying to talk his way out of the shit with his words. And but I can see right through his bullshit. Like he's a bullshitter. You know what I mean? He's a manipulator. He's good. He's very good at what he does. He's very good with his wordplay. He knows what to say and how to say it. He's great. But like I said, people like me and other people, we know. We can just listen to you and say, "Oh yeah, okay, you're a bullshitter." He's been bullshitting people for a long time, trying to convince people of why he has done what he's done. Um, you could tell he's fucking lying, about why he did what he did. But he's convinced other people that he's convinced other people that of his side of the story, whatever. But he's good. He's good at it. He can get into your fucking head and manipulate you. But like I said, there's other ways to manipulate people, and now we'll go into the part where why one of the other reasons why I do not believe in religion, and it's because of this. It's not because of the mouth. It's because of this. It's because of your hands. Because I watched and I started to figure things out and say, okay, I see what's going on. Like I said, the power of the touch. You learn that from a very from being born. You learn that in all your life. You know, say for instance, have you ever seen somebody that that was feeling like down and out? They were sad. Um, you know, maybe depressed, and you go and you talk to them, and they start telling you what's going on, and once you hug them, they break. They break down. They start to cry. it's not your words. It was your touch, the embrace. It breaks them. It happens a lot. You see it a lot in life. You have an issue with somebody, and argue with a family member, a friend, and you go to talk with them about it. Once you hug them, a lot of times, they'll break down. Maybe both people will break down. The power of the touch. It wasn't the words that you said. It was just the embrace. So as I was growing up, when I was attending church services and shit like that as a young kid, and also when I was incarcerated, I would sit down and just watch other people. And that's one thing that I noticed. I noticed that when you go to the church, just say for instance, you go to church on a Sunday or whatever, or you go to Victory Outreach or whatever, you go to Praise Chapel. And in the end, they offer everybody, anyone, if you want to come up to the front so they can pray for you. And then if you get up and you go up there, or you can watch and you'll see people get up and they'll go up there. And they call it laying hands on you. And that's what they do. They put their hands on you, on your head, on your shoulders. And a lot of the times when that happens, these people will break. They'll break down. Okay. And then they'll start to do their prayer or whatever. But it was the touch of their hands on you. The power of the touch of their hands. That's what causes these people to break down. And then they'll say that it's God that touched you. But it's not. It's just that person putting their hands on you. It's the power of their touch that causes you to break. Manipulation. Like, I care for you. You're my friend. You're my brother. You're this. You're that. You see? They're using the power of that touch, and then they start to use the power of the words. And they break you. And then they convince you that it's God that's doing it. But it's not. It's just them touching you, and it's their words. It's a form of manipulation. For me, I look at things as, without the people, there is no church. If there's no people, there is no money. The more people they get to come and convince them that God is talking through them to you, the more they're going to gain. It's manipulation. So it's always, you notice they'll touch you, put their hands on on your head, your forehead, your shoulder, and most people will break. You can break a person with just the touch of your hand. And then you use the words. And this doesn't have to do with religion. This has to do with just everyday life. You can use your hands and your words to manipulate people and plant the seed to get what it is you need. Another example of like manipulation is like I was working for a trucking company some years back. This is about 2005. And I was a trainer. I was training guys to be truck drivers at the company. There was a guy, he was the lead trainer. And then there was me. So when a guy wanted to be a dock worker wanted to be a truck driver, he requested that, and then he would start his training. And he would go with the lead trainer. If there was a second guy, then I would take the second guy. Well, me and this guy, we should try to do things the way we wanted to do them, not the way that the company wants to do them. Because the way the company wants to do them, it didn't work out right for us. So we found a way that we could do our training a better way and an easier way. But we knew that they wouldn't agree to that. We knew that the boss wouldn't agree to that. So me and him were talking one day about it, and I said, "Yeah, man, I agree. I would like to do it like this, but he's not going to allow that." And get out of there. And he said, "No, we can get him. We can convince him." And I said, "I don't think we can. I don't think he's going to fall for that. I don't think he's going to go for it. He's not going to want to do that." So he's like, "Come on, watch. I'll show you." So me and him go to the boss's office, and he tells him, we sit down. Our boss is like, "What's going on?" He says, "Hey, about 6, 7 months ago, I can't remember how long. It was a while back, but you had mentioned something about doing this way. It would make it easier for us to do our jobs." He goes, "I never got back to you about it." He goes, "But you had brought it up to me, something in that effect of doing things this way or that way. Do you remember what I'm talking about?" And the guy was like, sitting there. He goes, "Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so." He's like, "Well, you know what, man?" He goes, "I think that's a good idea. So why don't we do that? Why don't we run with that?" "All right, go ahead, do it." And so I'm just sitting there like, "Fuck, okay." Like, this dude just threw that shit out there like that. Okay, I already know how to manipulate. But this dude just threw that idea into his mind real quick, just like that. And we walked out, and he goes, "See, I told you." And so I was like, "Wow, I've never tried that before. I've done other ways to manipulate people, but I've never done that before. I've never threw an idea into a motherfucker's head just like that, and he fucking goes for it." So that was just another form of manipulation, how to manipulate somebody else's mind. He just threw it out there, said, "Hey, you said this, and that sounds like a good idea." See, it was him saying that, like, what you said was a good idea. Well, now this guy's like, "Oh yeah, well, I got good ideas. So yeah, yeah, go ahead and do it that way then." He fucking manipulated his mind just like that, and I was just thinking like, how fucking weak minded this dude. I mean, this is my boss. He's that weak minded that he threw that fucking idea in his head like that. But he was able to do it, and we did things the way we wanted to do them. I ended up taking over that position a couple months later. He ended up leaving the company. I ended up taking over the lead position, but it was just another form of manipulation on how to uh, how to get people to do things that you want them to do. And so, like I said, there's this, your hands. When somebody's feeling down and out, is the easiest time for you to use your hands to manipulate them, because once you use your hands and you touch them with your hands, and then you start to use the words, you start to use your words and plant the fucking seeds in their head, and they're weak-minded, they'll go for it. Most of the time they're gonna go for whatever it is you're trying to put into their head. You're planting a seed in them, and I've done that shit a lot. I mean, that's how I survived life. Most of my life was just mainly manipulation through my words. Um, there's also the intimidation. You can use intimidation, but that doesn't get the same result as manipulation. But so that's one of the reasons why I don't believe in, like, religion. That's one of the reasons, not all of it, but because I watch and I see what they're doing. They use the power of the touch, and then they say, "Well, it's God talking to you." No, it's not. It's you, because you know that I'm vulnerable right now, You know that this person is vulnerable right now. That's why they walked up here. That's why they're in front of you, because they're hurting. Life is not what they want it to be, you know, or what they expected it to be. So they come up here, and then you put your hands on them and to show them that you care for them, and you break them. You have to fucking break people to build them up to what you want them to be. That's what manipulation is, you know, not just church. When I was younger, when I got out, when I was 18 years old, and I started hanging out with these new guys I did not know, the younger homeboys, I had to break them down and build them back up the way that I wanted them to be. In relationships with women, I manipulated my way into their life with them. And then once I got into their life, once I was able to convince them that I cared about them, that I loved them, well then I break them down. You know, I break them all the way the fuck down. And then little by little I start to build them up to what I want them to be. I think that's the reason why me and my wife's relationship is so good and how our relationship works so well, because I did not have to do all that stuff to her. I did not have to break my wife down to build her up to be what I wanted her to be. And when I met her and was talking to her, I seen she was already what I needed. She's already she was already what a man needs as far as being submissive and wanting to take on a wife role and being old school. You see, I didn't have to break her down to build her up to that. You know what I mean? She was, I'm not saying she's weak. What I'm saying is that she was already what I needed. She's what a man needs. Because that's what men need. Men don't want some fucking woman that wants to run shit. She wants to run the show. They don't need that. Men do not want that. If you have a woman that's like that and you allow your woman to do it, then you're weak and you've been the one that's been manipulated. So she was already submissive. She was already ready to take on a role as a wife, as an old school wife. So I didn't need to do all that kind of stuff. I didn't have to bullshit my way into it. But in my other relationships, these women were not what I needed them to be. You know what I mean? So I'd have to get to them, get into their lives, and little by little break them down and start building them up. What are you eating? Get out of here. Go. Go. Go in the house. Go. Fucking dogs will find anything on the floor. Go. Get out of here. Um. So yeah, I manipulated them, break them down, then build them back up again to what I want them to be. I would do the same thing with my homeboys, like I said, by pushing them, by bullying them. Even though they're young, I had to break down their. I guess you have to say break down their fucking manhood, and convince them that I'm higher than them. I'm better than them, and break them down like you ain't shit, so that I can build them back up again to be what I want them to be. To get them to commit crime, and to follow what I have to say, to follow me around, to follow my rules. Same thing when it came to women in relationships. This is the way I survived through life. Is being a master, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. You know what I mean? And to where like I said in other videos where I was able to get how was I able to maneuver my way into married women's lives with manipulation. You know, convincing them to give me money and things that I needed. But it's all about breaking them down, and also with your hands, the way you touch people. You meet a married woman, she's going through issues, she's talking to you about it. Well, you already know you got her, and then you say you meet her for the first time in person, and she's telling you things, and you're listening to her. She thinks you're paying attention. She thinks that you give a fuck about what she's going through, and you don't. I don't give a fuck what you're going through. There's something that you have that I need. So, okay, I'm gonna listen to you, And as you talk, I'm gonna maybe touch your arm, touch your hand. When you go to leave, hold you, hug you tight, longer than I should. And then maybe touch your face, touch your arm as you're walking away. It's all fucking manipulation. You know what I mean? It's all just the touch of my hands. Because when I touch you with my hands, you think that I care. And it's like I don't care. You have something that I need. You can do the same thing with men. You don't have to caress a man's face and all that shit. You can manipulate a motherfucking man just by touching him. By the way that you embrace that guy. You embrace him, you hug him tight, you shake his hand, but you grab his hand with both your hands. You shake his hand and you grab it with the other hand. And you shake it. Then you give a firm handshake. In his mind, he thinks this guy he's very respectful. You know what I mean? He's showing me respect. You know what I mean? He respects me by the way he grabbed me. He shook my hand with both his hands. He looked me in my eyes, and he shook my hand firmly. I'm just doing the fuck with your mind. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a you. It's like I don't respect you. I don't even fucking know you. But I'm already. It's this the man in me that's already like, okay, I gotta get into this guy's head already. From the very beginning, I gotta get into his head. I gotta be above this guy. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna just by manipulating him, by convincing him that I'm showing him a lot of love and respect. No. Sometimes, yeah, I am doing it out of love and respect from my friends, but there's other people's like, I don't know you, don't, but I don't know. I might need you for something one of these days. And if I do that, and in your mind, like, oh, he's a good dude. I like that guy. They'll like you right away. Like I like him. The way he approached me, the way he shook my hand. You know what I mean? He showed me respect. I might need something from you one of these days. It's just something inside me that causes me to do that. That causes me to feel like, okay, I'm gonna have to. I'll have to get in your head from the very beginning because I might need you for something later on. If I meet somebody and I'm like, hey, how you doing? Shake their hand, but like whatever, no big deal. It's because I could already see like that's not somebody I can see right through them. Like I don't need this person. You know what I mean? This person cannot do shit for me. But if I see somebody and somebody's introduced me to somebody and I see them, I say, okay, I might need this guy one of these days. Just see it. So it starts there. It starts there by planting that little seed. And the more you come around, the more I'm gonna fucking water you that fucking seed. Just in case. It's just in case that I need you for something one of these days. Just in case I need you to do something for me one of these days. You know, but that's just the way that my mind works because I'm so used to manipulation, living my life that way to survive. I don't need it. I have a good life now, you know. I don't need it, but there's something inside of me that, like I said, the wheels are constantly turning. The wheels are constantly turning, and I just sometimes I do it just to do it. Sometimes I do it just to do it. It's like I do it to other men just so they kind of practice. I can't do it to women no more. I have a wife, you know. So I'm not out there dating and seeing other women and shit like that. You know what I mean? Because like I said in my other videos, when I was out there when I was single, I had like 5, 6, sometimes 7 different women that I was dealing with. Most of them were married, and I was just using all these manipulation tactics on all of them. You know, just constantly doing it, constantly trying to stay up on my game of manipulation. So now that I'm married, and it's funny because I'll be looking at Instagram and shit, and I see these fucking chicks. I'm like, damn, man, like I could just run right through you in a minute. I could take whatever it is you have. I could take it if I wanted to. If I wasn't married and I was out here single, fucking around, I can get to you in a minute. You're fucking easy to manipulate. You know what I mean? They're very women nowadays are so fucking easy to manipulate. You can just look on Instagram. It's like, oh, I can manipulate you in a fucking minute. Don't have to buy you nothing. Don't have to give you nothing. I just convince you of something. And I plant that fucking seed. And next thing you know, I'm getting all the things that I need from you. But since I'm not in that dating scene and I'm not single, I can't do those things. But I'll still practice my. I look at it as a skill. I still practice those skills on other men. You know, to just to keep myself up on game because you know what? I don't need a woman. I already have one. So I don't need to convince a woman of anything. I don't need to manipulate women to do anything for me. I have a wife. But, you know, I can use men sometimes if I need to. And there's just different ways of doing it. You know what I mean? Like I said, do your words. You plant a seed. You plant the seed. You know, some seeds have been planted years ago, and I just been watching them. You know, it's like a motherfucker that grows weed in his backyard. You know, he's been watching it, been feeding it little by little. It's growing, and you maintain it by pruning it and watering it, giving it sunlight. The same fucking thing when you plant a seed in somebody's head. Whenever you see them, you're clipping, watering, and you're just building it up, just in case one day you need them for something. One day you need them to do something for you. And there'll be no questions asked. They'll just do it. That's the whole thing about manipulation. Like I said, it's not just your words though, it's your hands. I think this is more powerful than your words because this work can all start is with your hands and then you start to use your words. And like I said, I've watched it in relationships. I've watched it happen in friendships. I've watched it happen at work. You can see it on TV constantly. Constantly manipulation on TV. Watch the news. They're constantly fucking manipulating people. This whole thing with Israel and Palestine. They're manipulating people. So people are taking sides. Just watch the news. Don't believe what you see. Just watch, and you could pick up on it if you're smart enough. You'll pick up on what they're doing every time you turn the news. Now that's all they're fucking talking about. Then when the next big thing comes, that's all they're gonna talk about, and they're gonna just pump that shit in your head. They're just drilling it into you. Elections are coming up, and they're already drilling that shit into you about Donald Trump, that he's this, he's that, and blah 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 blah. It's manipulation. But in mass amounts of manipulation. They're manipulating millions of people at one time. But guys that are good at being manipulators, and it doesn't even have to be street guys. It does not have to be street guys, criminal, like gang members and all. No, there's just the average Joe motherfuckers out there that are good at manipulation. They're good at manipulation tactics. They sit and watch, and they'll find your weak points, whether you're male or female. They're going to find your weak points, and that's where they're going to go. And they're going to build that up. They're going to work with where you're weak at, and then it'll build you up from there. And they're doing it they're just planting the seed, and they're going to continue watering the seed. Some people are going to manipulate you because they want something from you right then and there. They need it right away. They're going to convince you of something. Others that are really, really good at it, all they're doing is they see a weak point in you, and they plant a seed there. I see a weak point in you here, I'm gonna plant the seed here, and one here, and then this person here, and this person here. And I'm gonna just, as time goes by, I'm just watching. I don't need nothing from you right now. I'm just watching. I'm just watering, and I'm just pruning. Every time you come near me, that's what I'm doing. Doesn't mean I'm doing it to everybody. You know what I mean? So for people to say like, oh shit, is he trying to manipulate me? Well, what the fuck what is it that you have that I need? You know what I mean? If there's something that you have that I need, well then maybe you can think that way. But look at yourself and say, well, do I have anything that Mike needs? No. I have what I need. If I'm doing things, it's just because I'm just trying to keep up on the game. That's all. It's just me keeping up on the game. I'm keeping my own mind strong, is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I might not even want nothing from you. I might be just doing it just as a game for my own self, to see if I can do it. To see if hey, stop that, fucking dog. I might be doing things just as a game. Just get out of there. Just as a game. Just to keep my mind going. I might just do it out of fucking boredom. To see if I can do it. You know what I mean? So it doesn't necessarily mean that I need something from you. And you might not even know I ever done it. I might have just did it just to do it, just to see if I can do it. And once I know I can get what I need, then I just say, okay. I still got it, and I move on. But yeah, I gotta keep up on my game. I gotta keep up on it. You know what I mean? Because shit, you never know. Yeah, I'm happily married. You know, have a decent life, but you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Shit, I could end up fucking without nothing again. And then what happens? If I'm not up on my game, well then it's gonna be rough for me. So I gotta stay up on the game just in case anything's to happen. I gotta know that I still have those skills to get the things that I need. So, anyways, that's my video for the day. It's just about manipulation. Um, I know there's guys out there. They know what I'm talking about. They know how to maneuver, you know, in other people's minds. You know, that's what it's about. Is about maneuvering in other people's minds, and how to fucking plant seeds here, and how to plant seeds here, and how to get them seeds to grow, and little by little. Um, just I don't know. Just to do it. You know, they know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? They know. And so, like I said, anyway, that's my video. You have any questions? Go ahead and leave a comment, or you can message me on IG. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. You can leave me a message there. But thank you guys for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your tell your people to check out the videos, and like I said, maybe they'll learn something from them. And I appreciate you guys following me. So I'll be talking to you guys later.